and then the new topics. Now, what we have already covered. So we start here, Unix. Hold on. Okay, so this is where we have started. Okay, we told that I have something called Linux, which is important for me when I start my work with AWS and DevOps. Now, whenever I do start my work with AWS and DevOps, I will need this guy, Linux. Why should I talk about Linux, or what good it is going to do to me? So the answer to this question is that whenever you start your work, you are talking about servers. When you're talking about servers, you will need operating system, because operating system is the one which will make sure that your hardware and software talk with each other. So when I talk about operating system, I talk about Windows, I talk about Mac operating system, I talk about Linux or Unix. Now I know that Mac operating system and Windows are used for... One second. So I know Mac operating system and Windows OS is mostly used for UI purpose. So I'm more into my operating system. I am more into my servers. And here I will be talking about Linux or Unix. When I start with Linux or Unix, I go a little bit back in the history. I come to know that in 1960s around, 1960, 1970 around, there was operating system, mainframe systems were there. And these mainframes were very big. These systems used to treat hardware, if I say hardware, precisely RAM as RAM. It treated RAM and hard disk as one single unit. The major problem was that if RAM fails, hard disk also fails, hard disk fails, RAM also fails. So this was a problem. So what we did is we started thinking about a software, an operating system, which can treat hardware, RAM as a RAM and hard disk as a hard disk. In a search of that, big companies like MIT, AT&T Bell Labs, and AT&T Bell Labs, MIT, and I think one more company was there. What was that company? General Electrics. So these three companies, they started the work on a software which will treat hard disk as hard disk and RAM as RAM. So they started the work, but it took around 20 years, but they were not able to crack, and hence it was kind of scrapped. But there were few people like Linus Torvalds. So there was few people like Dennis Ritchie, Ken Thompson. These people were working in the background. And finally, somewhere around in 1969, if I'm correct with the date, just let me pull it from here. So somewhere in 1979, Dennis Ritchie came up with the software and he named it as Unix. The moment this Unix thing came into picture, there were many buyers for this. Many companies wanted to buy this. When we say many companies, these companies were IBM, Solaris, Microsoft. There were many companies who wanted to buy this. Why? Because this was a game-changing delivery, and this will go ahead and do wonders to my IT. So they bought this, but it was still limited to only those people who are, or those companies who are big. What happened is small companies still, they did not had anything and they were struggling. So there was another guy called Linus Torvalds. He came up with another software, which was exact replica of Unix. And he made it as, gave the name as Linux and gave it for free. And after that, people started using something which I wanted with money. I was not getting with money by paying also. Now I'm getting it for free. So Linux gives you 100 other features apart from being free of cost. It is simple. So when I say simple, I am talking about a software which is somewhere in 1970s, 1980s. Then it allows multiple users to log in at the same time, which will help my debugging and parallel processing very effective. It allows multiple flavors. So you have Debian, SUSE, Red Hat, Fedora. So many varieties are there. It is free of cost. So in case you want to experiment something, you want to do something, you don't have to buy the license. It gives you a better malware protection because it is mostly meant for servers. So you can harden the security on Unix servers. Then it is giving you access to the code, the source code. So you can make changes as per your requirement. So we came to know that there is something called kernel, and on the shell of the kernel, we write our scripts, bash scripts and all. And that's the reason it's also known as bash script or shell script. Now I need this bash or shell or the terminal where I can write my code. So what I did is yesterday, I went ahead and I created a EC2 instance. So you can, or you should have a account by this time, by this period of time, and you should go ahead and say, I'm looking for an EC2 instance. When I talk about an EC2 instance, the first thing what I started was with security group. Then I started with key pair. So there can be a number, you can't go by the numbers, but at the end of the day, I need an instance where I can get my work done. Every time you will see that I keep my instance in a stopped state. Why? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to spend unnecessary money on that. Because if it is running, it will have unnecessary amount. And it is just to say that it is free of cost, but many a times you will see that even if it is kept under, it is kept under free tier, it will charge you money. Okay, so I have just kept it as stop state, and there is another problem. I've lost the security key pair. So I will not be using this, though I can go ahead and use it still, but I don't want to use it. I'll quickly go ahead and launch a new machine. I will say my Linux web server or my Linux server. It is Amazon Linux 64-bit T2 micro key pair. I'm going to create a PPK key. So I've told you, in case you are using a Windows machine, go with PPK, this format. If you're using a Mac operating system, use PEM. Go ahead. Also gets downloaded here. Close it. Linux KP. I leave everything default. Only the security group is what I'm going to change. And I'm going to use web security group. Here, port number 22 is open. That is very much mandatory. Just go ahead and say, I want to launch. Now the machine will launch and a new ARN or a new number will be generated. This number is very much needed for me because it is uniquely identifying my element. On top of that, I told you get two IP addresses. One is your public, another one is private. Public used for public used for external communication, and private used for external communication. So this point we had covered. So I told you, if you want to connect, there are many ways to connect. One of the tools which we will be using is PuTTY. Here you need to give the host name or IP address. So if you come here, you will see there are two things. Public IPv4 DNS. This is the host name, or take the public IPv4. In case you are associating it with elastic IP, take the elastic IP. Whatever it is, take the IP address. Come here and you can give like this, EC2 minus user. So this is my default user at the rate, the IP address, whatever IP address you get, put it here. So I'm giving my username at the rate, the IP address. So 2-in-1 thing I'm doing. Then I will go to appearance, change the font size from 10 to 16 so that it looks a little bit bigger. Go to SSH, click on the plus button, then go to auth, browse, and go for the key. This is Linux KP, which I have just used, and I am able to connect, and I am connected. Now, this is the place where I had left yesterday, and I told that we can go ahead and connect. Now, a question can be how to download PuTTY. So just come here and say download PuTTY. It will take you to the official website, which is putty.org. Come here and look for the first thing, download PuTTY. You can go to this page. Here you can go with 64-bit and download this, and then double click on the stuff and it will keep next, 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 and you will have your stuff up and running. Go with PuTTY app. Don't go with anything else. So when you write PuTTY, there is something called PuTTY app. Go with this PuTTY app. Then this is the place where I'm connected. You see bigger font size because I have increased the font size. If you go with the normal one, it will be small. Important things to mention here is the default user is EC2 user. The username is, the password is LinuxKP. Now the question is, from where did you get the username? There are many ways to find it out, but in case you want to know, click on the instance, click on connect. Here you will see the default username is there. So if you're using an Ubuntu machine, then the default username will be different. But for me, as of now, the default username is EC2 user. Now I will start. Password, username. It says you are connected to this machine. What is this? This is my IP address. What IP address? This is my private IP address. Now you can say I connected using public, but how come it is pointing to private? They are same. So internally it is showing this, but externally it will show this. So internal 172.31.761. 172.31.761. So this is what I told you, that Amazon or Linux will allow multiple users to log in. So if I see right now, I have the user called EC2 user logged in. I want to check who am I. So it will tell that you are EC2 user. Now, if you talk about the multiple users which are already available on the system, okay. So now it is not at all important for you to remember all the commands. The commands will only come by practice. I will simply write the command because I know those commands. I have used those commands 100 times. So that's the reason I told you that start with some cheat sheet. Linux cheat sheet. Take any cheat sheet which you feel is okay. Let me say I'll pick this one. This one. Open it. See here. It is saying if you want system information, these are the commands. If you are hardware information, these are the commands. If you are performance, these are the commands. So like this, you will have thousands and thousands of commands. There is no list which will say, okay, it contains everything. Okay. So there are hundreds and thousands of commands. So you should start. That is important. You will not know all the commands. If you want to know all the commands, you will turn out to be a Linux administrator. Okay. But here the point is not to become a Linux administrator, only know what is required. Okay. But to remember these commands, you will have to practice. You take anything, top 100 commands, top 50 commands, top 500 commands, just practice. That's it. Anyhow, when you start using it, automatically you will remember. Anyhow, back to my stuff. I told that multiple users are able to log in. So I will try to log in with a different user. I will say sudo hyphen. What is this? Sudo means make me a, give me root privilege. Sudo means give me super user privilege. Do make me a super user. Su means switch user, means change the user. Now the user is EC2 user. Make me root user, and hyphen means take me to the home directory. Now if you see here, I have changed to root. One important thing which you see here, any user who is not a root user, he will have here a dollar symbol. But if a user has root privilege, he will hash here. So just by seeing, I can say whether it's a root user or it's a normal user. If it's a normal user, here at the end, there will be a dollar symbol. Please remember. So there can be interview questions where they will simply say, In Unix, what is the difference between these two? What is the difference? So if you see a dollar symbol, it is a normal user. And if you see a hash, he is a root user or a super user. When I say super user, you can also say he is an admin user. So this is a very important thing. You should know this. Everywhere it is same. You can try it on Mac, you can try it anywhere. You try it with Ubuntu, you try it on a different machine. The concepts remain same. The base which is running in the background is same. So the first thing, I came to know that currently I see two users. One user is root user, which I'm logged in, and one was the default user. How many such users are there? Are there 2, 3, 4, 5? How many such users are there? To know how many such users are there, Linux maintains a folder, or Linux maintains a file, which you will find here, cat. Cat means not that meow meow wala cat. Cat means display. Okay, so cat, I don't know what is cat. So cat minus minus help. So the moment you say cat minus minus help, it says standard output. So it will simply show you the output. Okay, so, or on your cheat sheet, you can come and say purpose of cat command in Linux. It will show you the standard output. I also want to see the standard output. Come here. So for any command, you can just do a minus minus help, and that will give you the whole story about that command. What is that command? Why am I using this? Everywhere. So you use any shell, the system is sync, the base is sync. Now, I told there will be many users. How many users are there? So that is maintained here. There is a folder called etc, or there is a directory called etc. And in this directory, there is a passwd file. When you go to passwd file, you will see these many stuffs are there. So I told cat etc passwd, and these many files are there, or these many entries are there. So there is a EC2 user, which is a default user. And if you see the priority, he has the least priority, 1000. But if you go at the top, you see root user is there, who has 00 priority, means he is the user with highest priority. Bin, daemon, ADM, LP, like that, there are so many users which can, or which are parallelly logged in and working. Now, can I create a user? Can I use it? The answer is yes, you can create a user. But before creating a user, I would like to change this name. I don't like this name. I want to change it. So I'll say host name. I will say Linux server. And again, sudo su hyphen. So the moment you say host name and then sudo su, it will change the name. You can give any name of your choice. Rather than having numbers, you can put these thing. In a real-time project also, you do the same thing. There's nothing different. Okay, same thing you will do. You can rename all these things. Yes, in real-time project, you may not get root privilege. That's there. But whatever access is required, that much you will get. So that can be a difference. So you are a root user logged into Linux server. Now, what do you want to do? So I want to create a user. How to create a user? So I will say user add, means I want to add a user as a root user. I have all the privilege. So I want to add a user and give him a name as, let me say his name is Vikas. So now if I see the user is added, go back, go to this place, cat etc passwd. You can see here, this user got added, but he also has very limited privilege, almost zero privilege. What is the main use of Linux command? How will it help Linux? Linux will be used when you have to talk to the servers, because many a times you will have to deal with servers. Because let me say you have to install Jenkins. Now the thing is not responding. So you need to know why it is not responding, why the server is not responding, how to go and work with this server. So just because I was talking about this, let me say, I will go here and I will say Jenkins.io. So this is the official website of Jenkins. Now in Jenkins.io, I want to download Jenkins. Now in Jenkins, when it comes to download Jenkins, I want to download it for my CentOS, Fedora, Red Hat. So when you come here, there are some commands like this. There are some commands like this. You should know what is this. You can't simply copy paste, because if you simply copy paste and tomorrow things fail, then you should know why it has failed. As a DevOps engineer, the expectation is that you should know what is happening in the background. So to know what is happening in the background, you should understand the system. And there is where Linux comes into picture. So I have created a user just now, just used upward arrow key. You will see your user is added. This is all. If this is added, if I do it again, it will give me error. User Vikas is already there. Once the user is added, I will allocate him the password, because at the end of the day, he has to log in with that credential. So I'll say pass WD and Vikas. Pass WD Vikas, enter. Now it will say type a password. So I'll type. It is not like Windows where star like that will come. Here, even if you type the password, it will look like nothing got typed. But in the background, yes, it got typed. Again. So it says all the authentication tokens have been updated successfully. It means you have set the password for this. Now, can I log in and check? Su means switch user Vikas. So now you can see I have logged into Vikas user. Okay. I want to come out. Exit. Now, till this point of time, I have created a user. I have allocated him a password, but still the user does not have any access. He doesn't have any power. I want to give him power. How to give? So for that, you need to add that user to vi sudo file. So there is a file called vi sudo, and you have to add the user to this file. The moment you type vi sudo and hit enter, it will take you to a place like this. Now here, you have to go all the way down here. Here you will find something like this. Now you have to write here. But if you simply do like this, nothing will write, because this is VI editor. VI editor is a special kind of editor which will allow you to edit or make changes. But you should know how to make changes. So to make or to show that thing, I am using my on-screen keyboard. So if you see carefully, I am here and I'm not able to write. See, even if I click, it is not writing. So what should I do? The first thing is I should come in insert mode, or I should go in insert mode. So I'll say escape and I. So the moment you say escape I, you come in insert mode. Now, once you are in insert mode, you can go and make your changes. So my changes will be something like this, Vikas, and I want to give him privilege. So the privilege is something like this. So I have added a user called Vikas. I'm saying all equal to all, means he will get all the privileges, like root user only, he will get all the privileges. And I'm saying no password equal to all, means don't keep asking for his password. Once I will provide, that's it. Now, with escape I came into insert mode, I made the changes. But now the question is how to come out. If your changes are done, how to come out? How did you copy? Okay, to copy anything, you just need to highlight it. Just highlight it like this, it will be copied. And wherever you want to paste, take your cursor there and just do a right click. It will get pasted. So you don't have to use Control-C, Control-V. Okay. Again, do not use Control-C, Control-V. So in Windows, we have a habit of using Control-C and Control-V. Here it is not needed. To copy anything, just highlight it like this. It is copied. To paste it, wherever you want to paste it, put your cursor there. By the arrow key, go and just do a right click. It will be pasted. See here, it got pasted. Now I don't want, so I'm deleting it. To delete it again, escape, I come in insert mode. This will need a little bit of practice because initially when you start, it is not that easy. Okay, we'll need a little bit practice. Now my changes are done. Okay, I want to come out. To come out, I will say escape. Escape. So the moment I say escape, the insert mode is gone. Then I will use this colon. So shift and colon. See, colon came here at the bottom. Then W, Q, and this exclamation mark. Shift and exclamation mark. So write, quit, and exit. Enter. So you can see the file has been changed. Okay, there is some just quit. 1 second. So it looks like I made some changes. So I'm just quitting it. I'm not making any changes. We'll make some changes again. Vi sudo. Looks like I have deleted something. Okay, now changes are done. Again, escape, colon, W, Q, exclamation mark. Syntax near line number 88. What's the syntax here? Vi sudo. Now there should be no error here, but still, while changing, if I have made some changes, I should go ahead and fix it. In case you don't want to make the changes, you can simply come here and say escape, colon, Q. Only Q and exclamation mark means don't write, just quit. So I will just quit here, capital Q. So I have not made the changes. I just did a quit from there. Okay. So in case I had to make the change, I would go there and add that Vikas user, all equal to all, no password equal to all. So that is what I should do. Point number 1. Point number 2 is I have to go to another file, which is, so if you want to go somewhere, it is not a browser where you can click and you can go. So let me say I want to go to some different folder. So you say CD. CD means change directory. I want to go to etc. Inside etc, I have SSH folder. So if now you come here and say PWD, means present working directory, you will see I am here, etc SSH. Now you want to see what is there. So you say ls minus l. So ls minus l means it will tell you that these are the files present. Now in these files, I have to change this file, sshd config. So here again, vi, and I will use this file, sshd config. Enter. Go all the way down here. Here you will see there is something called password authentication. No. I have to make changes. Escape. I come in insert mode. Yes. I'm done with the changes. Again, escape key, colon, W, Q, exclamation mark. Enter. The changes are done. Now to make these changes effective, I will say service sshd restart. I can also say service sshd reload. So I have basically made changes and given some authority, some power to my user Vikas. Now, if I come here and say Su Vikas, I'm easily able to log in. And if I want to do, I can do many things. That what all things I can do, I'll tell you later. Now you can exit from that user and you can go ahead and clear all these things. So PWD, present working directory, shows you where you are currently. Now let me say I want to go back to my home directory. CD. CD means take me to the home directory. So if you see here, this sign, this tilde sign, this is your home directory for root user. So if you say PWD, now you will see you are at root folder. Okay. So this root folder is because it is the home directory of this user. Now, if you want to go one step back, one folder back, so you say CD dot dot. If you want to go ahead, you say CD and then where you want to go, etc SSH. You want to go forward. But if you want to go backward, you say CD dot dot. When you say CD dot dot, it takes you one step back. So if you see PWD, I was at /root. Now I am only at /. So I've gone one step back. Now, if I want to go ahead, CD root PWD. So like this, you do the navigation in the sense you move one folder back, one folder, two folder ahead. Okay. Now let me come back. CD dot dot. Please remember it is case sensitive. So if you say CD, it should have wait, man, wait. It will come. Hold on. Patience is the virtue. Hold on. It's a course for 2 months, 2.5 months. There are a lot of things will come. Hold on. Okay. So now let me say that I have a folder. I came one step back. So I am here. /. Now here, I want to see what all is there. Now, basically, why am I coming here? So when you start your work, this is the Linux kernel, which we are talking about. So in the kernel, you will see these many files. First, let me show you, then I'll come here. ls -l, or let me first clear it. So I am at /, okay? Here I will say ls -l. So I can see these many folders are there. Each folder has its own significance, bin, boot, dev, etc. So if you see carefully, bin, dev, etc, user, mount, opt, these folders are there. And where is it? It is at the root directory or the initial folder. Each folder has its own significance. Likewise, this is what we are trying to show. If I have boot folder, it contains boot related details. If I have mount folder, if you have mounted some temporary file system, it will contain those details. If you have declared variables, the variables will be stored here. If you have root home directory for the root user. So like this, each folder has its own importance. Obviously, you get full access to change anything and everything you want. So let me say I go to one such folders. So let me say I go to this bin folder, or I go to this etc folder. So etc is system configuration files. So I will go to etc folder. How to go? CD /etc. PWD, you are in etc. Here, there are many folders because this is a configuration folder. So I'll say ls -l. So many folders are there. So many files are there. I want to change something. Let me just say, I want to delete this file. System releases. So I can delete rm -rf and I can delete this. I don't want to delete it, but just want to tell you that I want to delete this and I can delete it. Also, at this point of time, I can create something. Now let me say I want to create a folder. But in Unix, we don't have folder. We have directory. Okay, so we say mkdir. Mkdir means make a directory for me. I will say sample. Now, if you come here and say ls -l, you will see this sample here, somewhere here. SA. See here, sample. Now it is showing you some July 13th, 1409. Now you will say, no, it is not 1409, July 13, 1409. No, it is not the time. So my system is in North Virginia, which is in US, and that's why the time is slow. So if I come here and say date, it will show me the date. Wednesday, July 13th, 1409, it's a UTC time. So it is showing me UTC. And this also is created with that details only. Sample. Now, assume I don't want it. I will say rm minus, or just you want to delete it, right? So I'll say rm dir. So mkdir is making the directory. Rm dir is removing the directory. So I'll simply say rm dir and sample. And I will be able to delete the folder. Come back, look for that folder. It's not there. So at any point of time, you can create it and you can delete it. Creating is using mkdir. Deleting is using rmdir. And again, if I want to go back to my home directory, cd, pwd, where I came to root folder. Now here I would like to create a folder. So I'll say mkdir new folder, ls-l. So I can see this new folder here. I want to create a file. This is a folder, right? I want to create a file. So you can use vi editor, vi and sample.txt. So vi will edit the file. So it is also known as a Vim editor. So if I want to edit a file, I open it in Vim editor. If it is there, very good. Not there, it will create it. So I'm opening it like this, vi sample.txt. Now, like vi editor, you have many other editors in Unix. Like in Windows, you have WordPad, Notepad++, Notepad, MS Word, this, that, like that. Here also, you have lots of editors. You can pick any editor, but vi is one of the basic which you will get here. So you come here and say vi and this name, whatever you want to create. Enter. Now, what is the first thing I should do? I should say escape and I. So the moment I say escape and I come to insert mode. Now I can write my stuff. This is a sample file, right? This is a sample file. Now I want to save it. How to save it? Escape colon. If I want to save, I will say W and Q and exclamation mark. If I don't want to save it, I will only say Q and exclamation mark. Q and exclamation mark means quit and exit. Write, quit, and exit. WQ exclamation mark is write, quit, and exit. Now, if you come here, ls-l, you will see there is one folder and there is one simple file. Now the question can arise, how can I go ahead and say what is a file, what is a folder, or why is there a color difference here? This one is blue in color, this is normal, white in color. Why is there a color difference? So I will say this is a folder, this is a normal file. Now you will say simply by seeing the color, should I tell? No. Take these two things outside. Let's investigate this. Now, the first character which you see here, that denotes whether it's a folder or it's a normal file. The first character which you see here, if it is D, it means this is a directory, this is a folder. If the first character here is hyphen, it's a normal file. Okay, can you show me diagrammatically the same thing? This is the stuff. So if you do ls-l, you get something like this. Check for the first character, whether it is D. If it is D, it is a directory. If it is hyphen, it is a normal file. If it is a C, it is a special character file. If it is a B, it is binary file. So it will totally depend on what is the content of the file. If the content of the file is full of binary, then it will be B. Special character, it will be C. D means it's a directory, it's a folder. If nothing is there, hyphen is there, means it's a normal file, normal text file. So this is the first character. Then what is this? RWX, R hyphen, RWX, R minus X. What is this? So these are basically permissions. So if you see here, there are 9 such RW like this. What does it mean? So R means for read, W means for write, and X means for execute. Okay. So if you see RWX means read, write, execute. All the 3 permissions are there. If you see R-X means read permission is there, but write permission is not there. Execute permission is there. Similarly, the third one. Now the question will arise, why 3 times? So if you take this, come here. So in my Linux, there are 3 types of users. The one is owner. Owner means the one who created this file. There will be similar users, or the owner will go in some group. So this is group user. And the third one is any random user. So I am the owner. I was the root. Okay. I logged in as root. If you remember here, I logged in as root. So I am the owner. See here, owner. So owner gets RWX, means he gets read, write, execute, all the 3 permissions. This root user belongs to a group called root. As a group user, I get R-X, means any other root user, if he logs in, he will not be able to edit the file, but he will be able to read and execute the file. Any random person will log in, he will get R-X. It means he will not be able to write, but he can read and execute the file. But in this case, as an owner, I have RW hyphen. RW hyphen means read, write, cannot execute. You have R hyphen hyphen means read, no write, no execute. R hyphen hyphen again. So read, no write. This 2, 1. This is a symbolic parameter. Okay, let me come here. So this is your user permission, the owner who has created the file. This is the group to which he belongs. This is any other random user. This is a symbolic parameter. The first one denotes the user. So you can see here, owner name, the user name. The second is group, the group permission. And then this is the size of the file in bytes and date and time when it was created. Let me come here, or I can come down here. So now if somebody says ls minus l, I will get something like this. I can break down this. This is something which I should understand. The first character is hyphen, means it is a normal file. The second character is RW hyphen, means as an owner, I can read, write the file. Any user who belongs to my group can read the file. Any random user can only read the file. One is the symbolic link. Root is the user. Root is the group. It has size of 23 bytes and it was created on July 13th, 1412, and this is the name of the file. So whenever you say ls minus l, it gives you a bunch of information. And to understand this bunch of information, you need to go ahead and talk about this. Now, what is a group? So I have told you that, let me say I am an AWS admin. Now, if in my account, I have 100 users, all 100 will come to me and say, I need this, I need this. So it will be very difficult for me. So what I do is I group them. group of developers, group of testers, group of admin users. So if I do something like that, it will be easy for me to manage, right? So if there are 100 people or there are 5 groups, which one you will want? You will want 5 groups. So you group the users just to make your management easy. And that can be seen here, cat /etc /passwd. So if you see here, each user, see, root. So basically see here, admin, he belongs to admin group like this. And now different users here. Vikas, he belongs to Vikas group. So basically, as of now, I'm not grouped anyone. So grouping is a group of users. So 100 users individually cannot be managed. So I group them, group of testers, group of developers, group of admin, group of contractors, something like that. What is the use of symbolic? Now, symbolic denotes the priority. Okay, see here, 2 means low priority, 1 means high priority. But symbolic is, you can't exactly relate it with priority, but it is somehow related to priority. So I cannot exactly say it decides the priority, but it is related to priority. Okay, so symbolic is, you can keep it as, stays as symbolic only. Anyhow, now the stuff here. So this is what I understand. Now anybody shows me a file like this, I'll come to know. Let me come and see a file, whether I understand or not. So I got a file something like this, root @ and this was my location. I did ls-l reports. So it showed me something like this. So now I'm trying to split. Hyphen will tell me the type. RWX will tell me the permission. 1 is the symbolic link. Owner, owner's primary group, size of the file, date and time, and the name of the file. And when I go inside permission, the first 3 character denotes as an owner what permission I have. The next 3 character denotes as a group what permission I have. Any other user what permission I have. So R is read, W is write, X is execute. The first set is denoted by owner. Owner is also known as user. The second group is denoted by he is the group. So he's saying G, and other users are denoted by O. So user, group, others. And if you include everyone, all users. Now, can I change the permission? I started, and then the permission was like this. Clear. ls. So I can see this is the permission. Now this file is very much protected. I don't want anybody to change this. So what I can do is I can allocate, or I can change the permission. 4 stands for read, 2 stands for write, and 1 stands for execute. So if I want to give all the permissions, what should I do? 4 + 2 + 1, which is 7. So to all the users, I want to give all the permission. So I'll say chmod means change and modify. 7 means to my owner, I want to give all the permission. Read, write, execute. 4 + 2 + 1. To my group, I only want to give read permission. So 4. To my other user, I only want to give execute permission. So 1. 7, 4, 1. 7 is read, write, execute. 4 is only read, only execute. For which file? For this file. See here, the permissions has changed. 7, 4, 1. I don't want to give any permission. For anyone, I don't want to give any permission, or only my user should read it. Now you can say, sir, if I give 0, 0, 0, then your file will be lost. You yourself will not be able to read it. You can give it a try. R ---- means as an owner, I can read the file, but others cannot do anything. They cannot even see the file. Now I want to give all the permissions to everyone. 777. RWX. All the users have all the permissions. Okay. Now I'll open it for questions. It is interesting. I'll tell you, it is interesting. You need to have some patience. You need to have some enthusiasm. It is interesting. If you have questions, please go ahead. I am unmuting you, everyone. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Hi, Vikas.
Yes.
So the recent scenario which you just explained, so you have modified the owner also only read permissions. So if owner have the read permissions, how can he modify or means give the full access?
No, I am logged in as a root user.
I mean root user.
No, root user. I told root is a Superman. He is a super user. He can do anything. If you want, he can delete everything from you. So super user can do anything.
So to whom the root user is giving the access? The owner means created user? Created one?
Yes.
Okay. The Vikas. Vikas is a user, right?
Yes, he's a user. So here, if you want, you can show him all these things.
Then who is the owner then? Sorry to ask the same question.
Now Vikas can also create files, right? So he becomes the owner. Okay, see now Vikas is there, okay? Now he will create a file, ls -l. As of now, he doesn't have, okay. He's at a wrong place. Let me just clear all these things.
No, my question is Vikas is a owner or user?
Wait, Vikas is a user, but he will, when he creates a file, let me say he creates a file, mkdir sample. Now what will happen? This sample file is owned by this guy. So this guy Vikas is a user, but he is also the owner of this file because he created it.
Oh. Okay.
Now root user can come and do anything. Root user can come here. Now root, see pwd, where is this guy? Home, this thing. Okay. Now first let me go to su. Wait.
No, I got it.
Su. Wait, let me exit from this user. Okay. Now let me say I go here, home Vikas. Now, as a root user, I'm able to see it. Can I not delete it? Yes, I can delete it. I am root user. I am Superman. I can do anything what I want.
Good.
It is deleted.
Okay. In the real time, who will be the root user?
Generally, the administrators will be root user. They will give you a limited or a set of permission. Based on that, you will do your work.
Okay.
Okay. Guys, if you
and then we become what, sir?
Tell me again.
They are the like root super users, like admin side.
They are administrators. Yes.
And what we become? Well, like
you become developers. See, as in a prod machine, you cannot expect all this thing. So let me say you are given a task to configure Jenkins. So you will be only and only able to configure Jenkins. I'll show you an example. pwd. Where am I? Wait. So see, this is root users folder. Okay. If my normal user wants to go there, ls -l. See, he's getting permission denied. Vikas is not able to go here. Why? Because he doesn't have access to go here. So Vikas will get a certain set of permissions. He's a, let me say, he's a Jenkins guy. So he will concentrate only on deployment and troubleshooting of Jenkins. He will only get access to the log files. So those permissions will be taken care of.
Okay.
Okay, I'll add you. Give me some time. I'll add you. Fine. Anything else?
Yeah, Vikas. I just wanted to ask, you went in this SSH file, right?
SSH, I did not do SSH till now.
No, you went there and did some permission changes to Vikas and all.
That is not SSH. That is only changing the permission.
Yeah. So can you just show me that command where you went in the path? I missed that part.
The path, okay, this path are you talking about? etc SSH.
Yeah, this one.
Anything if you miss, don't worry. We will...
No, and then you went in there and you did the permission changes, right? You gave this Vikas all is equal to all permission.
Sorry. Then I went here. Now I have logged in as Vikas user, so it is not allowing me to see anything. The moment I change myself to root, I will be able to. Any more questions here?
Because not a question, but actually, can you share EKS recordings for AWS?
I'll have to do it, man. If you want this thing, no, what you say, GitHub link, I can share it with you, but the exact thing I have to do it, or I will talk to your coordinator. If he has some previous recording, he can share it with you, but I'll have to find it.
Okay, in the GitHub, what we have, is it PDF?
The code and all is there. I can share that link with you. The PPT and the video and all, please get in touch with your coordinator. The coordinator will give you everything. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Chalo, bye, man.
Yeah, actually, we did not have EKS in our class action. That's why.
We will share. I'll share it. Man. I told you I'll share it now. Okay. Bye, man.
Thanks.
If you're not getting the video, please get in touch with your coordinator. Message your coordinator. The coordinator will share it with you. It is with the coordinator.